Hihani Washte Midgard. My name is Michelle from Thor Wants Another Letter. My last name in Lakota means Shante Nupa. I'm an enrolled member in the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, and I am Oglala Lakota on my mother's side. And today we're going to be talking about something very important to me. The HeartDrum imprint by HarperCollins. So, this feels somewhat, ceremonial, important, but that's because it is important. Last week, it's been a couple weeks now, we had the very first young adult to come out of HeartDrum, and that is The Summer of Bitter and Sweet by Jen Ferguson. And so today we're going to be talking about HeartDrum as a whole. I've been working on this video for quite a while. I was not able to edit it. I've had some technical difficulties, so we're going at it from a laptop approach, and you will have to excuse me. So, HeartDrum was started in January of 2021. And Cynthia Leitich Smith is the curator and an author, and she's just so wonderful. She has a heart of gold. I don't exactly know how I ended up on her radar, but her words have meant so much to me and made such an impact on my life. And it was launched to offer a wide range of innovative, unexpected, and heartfelt stories by Native creators, informed and inspired by lived experience, with an emphasis on the present and future of Indian country and on the strength of young Native heroes. And that's just such a good quote. I read the Forbes article, that's what's from, and I'll put the link down in the comments. This is not some kind of ranking video or anything like that. I tried, but I just don't feel that it is helpful to rank some of these because there's no bad book. They're all important in their own respects. And so we're just going to start first with the repackaging of these books, of Cynthia Leitich Smith's first books. We have Indian Shoes by Cynthia Leitich Smith. This was published, I believe, in 2000. Let's see my notes. I got notes, but they're all kind of messy. This was published in 2002, and it was repackaged in 2021, which Cynthia did send to me because I was absolutely sick. I think I had actually caught COVID or something like that. And she was like, "Oh, well, I'm going to send these to you." And I was like, "Thank you. I can't review them right now, but I will review them when I feel better." So I did do that. And this is such a gorgeous cover. Both of the covers are really nice, but I really like this one a lot better. This one is about a grandpa and his grandson, and they just have these adventures together. And I really loved this because this is something that I had as a child, but this is something I hope that my son has also growing up, is that he already has a positive matriarch, but it would really be nice if he had like a positive patriarch in his life. And I just love this grandpa and his son. And I believe the character is Cherokee Seminole, and it's amazing. Next we have Rain Is Not My Indian Name by Cynthia Leitich Smith. This one, I rated this, I think, a 4-star. It absolutely wrecked me. This is about a girl and her best friend, and one night it's New Year's Eve, they hang out, and she goes home like normal, but she finds out that night her best friend had actually been hit by a car and passed away. And this is her story of her trying to grieve and recollect some of these memories, and also kind of like a conflict of interest when she is invited to cover her great aunt's this camp or this thing that she's hosting, and this is her like working through all these feelings and also feeling conflicted. And I love the cover for this. I loved Rain so much, and also the back is gorgeous too. And this one really just cracked my heart open. I hope that one day I have my name on one of those and then the little stamp in the back. This one is Jingle Dancer. This is also by Cynthia Leitich Smith, but it's illustrated by Cornelius Van Wright and Ying Hua Hu. And I believe they're a husband and wife duo that have illustrated this. It's beautiful illustrations. I think one of my favorites is there's this one. Yes. So we have Jenna and her grandma. I believe Jenna is Muskogee Creek, or yeah, Jenna is Muskogee Creek. And I just love this because this woman right here, she actually looks like similar to my Auntie Mickey, and my Auntie Mickey has been gone for I don't know, like 10 plus years now, but every time I read this and I see her, it really reminds me of her. And I love it because, like I said, it does remind me of her. Even when I see, like, this one right here, this one kind of looks like my mom from, like, the 70s, 80s. Kind of looks like her. And then we have, this one right here. I don't have a cousin who looks like her. I just love this positive matriarchal, and like there's borrowing, and I really enjoyed that one. And then next we have is, okay, so that's all for those ones. We do have this middle grade by Cynthia Leitich Smith. This is called Sisters of the Neversea. This is a Peter Pan retelling, and they get taken to Neverland, and there's family, and they're about to move, and there's some things that are happening, and they have this adventure together, and they kind of realize that it is okay, like, we will have adventures as a family. And like, I just really loved it, and I really appreciated it. And look at this, like, all shades. Isn't that just chef's kiss? And so I gotta reread this because it's been a while, but I really enjoyed this when I did read it. Alrighty, so next we are going to jump into the Jojo McCoon's franchise. We have Jojo McCoon's The Used to Be Best Friend, and we have the newly published, this was published in May 10th, 2022, and then Jojo McCoon's was published, I believe, April 2021? Let's see. May 2021. And so this is about Jojo as an Ojibwe, like a spunky Ojibwe girl. She is so funny. This kind of gives me, like, the way that she talks and the way that she presents herself, like, I feel very strongly towards, and it's also by Don Quigley, and Don Quigley is like one of my favorites. So Jojo McCoon's Azure, I think it's Azure, but anyway, she's like 7 years old. She's in first grade, I think, and it's about her kind of like navigating through school, and she does these little adventures. This one's about her making friends, and then this one I really liked because this one's about a wedding, and when I was about 7 or 8, I also was in a wedding, and I just love Jojo because she's so funny and spunky, and she's so spirited about her culture. She's so spirited about her language, and I really enjoyed this for the way that Jojo makes me feel. It just feels very healing. It feels very, it's so important in a way that I cannot legibly communicate to you. Also because I love Jojo's outfits. She's so stylish, and then I love her cat, Mimi, I think that's her name. But they have a character there's a character box, so you kind of know who everyone is. I love Teacher because she schools him so many times about culture, and in this one there's like, blueberry is 47 letters, and he's like, no, and she's like, yeah, and then she tells him the Ojibwe word for blueberry pie, and it's like a mile long, and I love that. So if you haven't, read them. They're so cute. I can't even talk. Like, I had a whole note system going. As soon as I start talking about JoJo, I'm in shambles. So I love these two. I also love Apple in the Middle, but that one's not a HeartDrum. That one's from NDSU Press, I believe. But I will always give these attention. Look at them together. Look at that. And then when you have them on your little shelf there, oh, it's amazing. But yeah, this one was so cute because Kokum is so funny. So that's for Don Quigley. And then we have The Sea in Winter by Christine Day. This one was published in 2021, sometime in, I believe, January 21. This one is about a Piscataway and a Makah preteen. She's a ballet dancer, and she had an incident at her school, and she tore her ACL. And so this is about her kind of recovering from that and trying to bring herself to terms that ballet isn't the only thing that you're going to do with your life, that you're going to have to do other things. And also, this also is really interesting, and it talks about history. It talks about what had happened, how Indigenous people have navigated after tragedy, and how it connects to her own. And also it talks about her father and his military service. I loved it. Look at all these tabs. Look at all these tabs, right? I only used a few tabs, but I love tabbing books because there's so many things that that Maisie went through. And also I loved her brother Connor. Look at this cover. The artist to the cover, I believe, is Michaela Goad, which I believe Michaela Goad is also Michaela Goad is also the illustrator for for We Are Water Protectors. So if you saw this and you were like, I've seen this kind of art style before, yeah, that's Michaela Goad. Loved it. The second one that I wanted to talk about, I don't have a copy of. I could just probably pull it up on my iPad. But we have I Can Make This Promise by Christine Day. I'll show you the cover because I can. Here we go. All right. So we have I Can Make This here we go. I Can Make This Promise by Christine Day. This one I read, and I believe was published sometime in 2020. Is there a page for this? I wish that was there. Okay, here we go. It was published in 2019, but then I believe it became a HeartDrum, part of the HeartDrum imprint. If not, either way, this one is about Esther, and it's about this girl who finds out that her grandmother was part of the 60s scoop, and her mom was adopted by like a white family, and it talks about like that kind of devastation, and she's trying to navigate and figure out what happened to her grandma, because her grandma went to Hollywood to be an actress. And it also talks about like what happened at the Oscars with Shasheen Littlefeather and Marlon Brando. It also talks about, navigating middle school friendships and like the ways that people can be so mean and nasty to you when you haven't done anything wrong. And I loved it. Like, that was the first thing I've ever read from Christine Day, and I loved it. I sang its praises the entire year. I got to be on Vaultathon with Margaret, and I believe it was Christine and like a couple other people were there. I think Isabel and somebody else was there. But it's way back somewhere if you look for it. We watched Brother Bear, and it was so fun. It was the first time I'd been invited onto a live show. The first time I'd been invited to something as an Indigenous creator that I wasn't doing myself, and it was so fun. So that was definitely an integral part of me being on BookTube and being in the space of like book people. It was right around like 2019, 2020 that I actually found an entire community of Indigenous creators and met so many amazing people, and I now have so many good friendships and like some of the best friendships I've ever had just from reading books and finding people who also read the same book. And it's so important to me. I feel like I'm able to like reading these, like even just this, like reading this to Soren, just like heals that part of my inner child that was just so rejected and felt less than. And then you have like somebody who goes through an inner struggle, and that is exactly how I felt growing up as a preteen, and like being one of the only Native kids there. I just felt so awful and rejected and sad, and it was a lot, especially like as a kid and as a teenager. You're trying to fit in, and it's already a lot, especially when you have a different color skin tone. And so these books, like just reading these as an adult, has helped me so much. Next we have, this one's an anthology, and this is one of my favorites, like all-time favorites, and that is Ancestors Approved. And we have 16 stories and poems, including like it's edited by Cynthia Leitich Smith. There's so many stories in here. I remember really liking Don Quigley's. I remember really also loving Erica Worth's, and there were a couple other stories in here that I just really, really enjoyed. And I hope to like look into more of these authors. I haven't done that, but I really need to. And I also have a print that was given out when this was published. Thank you to Neil for buying that for me. I'll see if I can show it to you. It's in the window. It's like right there. Yeah. So that's really important to me. It's on the back. It says, "A powwow is where our hearts beat as one to the thump of the drum song together, or to the thump of the drum together, so strong where we belong." From What is a Powwow by Kim Rogers. So yeah, even if I publish like a small story, I hope to someday be in one with like the stampy stamp. I would just love that. What else was I going to say? Oh, okay. So the reason why I love this a lot is not only do you get to read different stories from different authors, and if you like those, then you can check those authors out as well. But I also really love this because I read They're There by Tommy Orange, and I did not get what I was looking for. I got a really great exploration of powwows, of trauma, of things like that. However, this is what I wanted. People coming together, Indigenous joy, happiness, and like there were even a little res puppy in here. It was great. But this is what I wanted. I wanted family. I wanted togetherness. I wanted the fry bread. I wanted all of that. And I got it in this. And I remember getting to read this. I can't remember if it was NetGalley or something else, but I just remember reading this, and I remembered just being the happiest I'd ever been for that entire week. I was just over the moon happy because I finally felt like I had found something that fit that homesickness that I'd felt for so long. So yeah, I want to cry. So, and then we have, this is the second to last, we have Healer of the Water Monster by Brian Young. This one was also just wow. So I would go check out Neil from Neil Yazzie and Kim from Native Lady Book Warrior. I would go check out their reviews because I feel like they're more they can touch on it a lot better than I can because I'm Lakota and Neil is Dene and I cannot remember. Oh, Hopi. Kim is Hopi and Kim's partner, I believe, is Dene or close to Dene. I'm not 100% on that. My memory is pretty bad. But this was everything. Like, this is about Nathan, and he is at I can't remember, he goes to see his grandma or something like that. Some of the words were confusing to me. I did not read the glossary before like actually getting into this. I was just tearing through it. But one of the things that I really loved about this were like all of the people, even the tiniest spirits, everybody had a name and everybody was given respect through those names, and it was something else. It was something that I hadn't read in such a long time that it kind of like took me aback a little bit because I was like, oh yeah, that's right, you have to read it like this and you have to experience things like this, because I just Lakota storytelling is kind of like similar in that way of like, oh yeah, you have to remember this and this happened and then this, you know, grandma told it to you like this, and this was just exactly like that. And so this was a big refresher of those kind of stories that I grew up with and those kind of stories that I experienced as a kid, but in a book. Also, this was given to me by April Sullivan, so I want to kind of shout her out because I did not a lot of these books were sent to me and like given to me by authors and publishers. This is the only one that I didn't know a thing about. I didn't know about this until Neil posted his review, and I was like, when was this a thing? Like, and I'm pretty sure that I got rejected for it on NetGalley and Edelweiss. So I'm kind of like, I'm kind of done with Edelweiss because I was like, y'all never approve me for anything. Same with NetGalley, but like NetGalley does because of it doesn't matter. But the point is that I didn't know anything about this. So when I did find out, I was like, oh my God, where can I get a copy? And I was like asking all my family, like, buy me one. And finally April bought me one. And I'm so happy. Like, look at this. Just look at that. I believe the cover is by David Curtis. Jacket design by David Curtis. Jacket art by Shanta Begay. And author photo by Plus Light Photography with Donovan Barney. Nice. I like the bracelet thing. But this was really nice. It's so gorgeous. Also, it looks really nice just by itself. So this definitely hit that, like, hit my childhood feels. There we go. And last but not least, The Summer of Bitter and Sweet by Jen Ferguson. This one wrecked me. I have to admit, I am not done with this yet. I am halfway through. But already it's been tabmania. Can you even see that? Oh, there we go. So we have all these tabs, right? This is about... How do I even... This is equal parts like... This feels very much like a... Not necessarily a coming of age, but it has those vibes. It's also about family. It is about, we shouldn't always have to struggle. We shouldn't have to be like, oh, we'll survive, we'll be okay. And it's also about demisexuality. And there were so many things that, so far, that this character, Louisa, has... I know, I've been reading it, but, sometimes when I'm filming, I forget names. But Louisa, there are things that she has said in this book so far where I'm like, oh my gosh, that is me. I feel that so much. And I love it. It's a 5-star. Obviously, I'm halfway. I can rate it. I can do what I want. So this is going to count for my last May book, because I did start it yesterday. I just haven't finished it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish it today, because I've been rolling through this book, and I've been it just bam, 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 just hits you. There's so many things that, this was published also on May 10th, 2022, and this, Louisa is, Machief, and there are things that she has said that just got me right in my feels. And also, like, her mom is gone for the summer because she's beading and she's spending time with other Native people, and I loved that. I'm also, like, there's gay representation. It talks about, like, the 60s scoop. It talks about residential schools. It talks about all the things, and it also talks about like racism and anti-blackness and how to navigate through privilege and racial tones and skin tone and pretending Apple stuff. Also, like, ice cream flavors are, like, in every chapter. Like, it talks about, like, different things that mean... I know words. I gotta go to a chapter. But it'll there's, like, a header on every chapter. And, okay, here we go. And it's, like, a color, and it will kind of put in what that means or how it's used, and I just love that about this. I had to contact like 3 people to get a copy of this. I first messaged Cynthia, and I was like, what do I gotta do? And then I messaged a publicist, and then I messaged Jen Ferguson, and thankfully my friend Carmen from Tomes and Textiles was like, hey, so are you, she was like, are you going to be reading this? And I was like, girl, I tried to contact like 3 people and I haven't heard anything. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I told so-and-so about this. And then within like a couple weeks, bam, this book was out to me. I was like, hey, just post about it. And something, I can't remember what else, but I did post about it, but, 5 freaking stars. This is the first YA book. It talks about demisexuality, race, and I just love it. I don't know what else is coming out by HeartDrum right now, today, at this very moment. However, I'm gonna show you I got the whole collection, babe. The whole collection I got. So we have all these. I just love how pretty these are. So we have these hardcovers. They're all blue. All of them are blue. So I can't wait till we see like a yellow or like yellow or green. A green? I would love a green cover. Green, black, which this one's pretty dark, but this one's dark, but this is not black. Red, green, black, purple, literally. Oh well, we do have rain, but and then there's these paperbacks. The children's book. We have the whole thing right here. And so yeah, I wanted to make this video because I feel like a lot of times people skip out on reading some of these stories because, oh, it's young adult. Oh, it's a children's book. Oh, it's this. But it's like, now we got a young adult book. And I feel defensive of these stories because this is something that has helped me so much that I want everyone to read it. I want everyone to experience this. Even if you don't feel the same way. Even if you rate it 3 stars. I still want you to experience what I experienced. This. Because this shows you such a larger, broader thing. It shows you people's intricate thoughts. It shows you the way that we have felt for years and years. And this is our time to tell our stories when people won't listen. When people can just scroll by. Now we have books where you can hold it in your hand. You can hold it in your hand and you can read it. And it is so important for you to hear those words. It's so important for you to read, even if it's a children's book. Look at this. So many drawings and things that she has said. And this is a little girl that feels this way and sees these things. And she has family. And it doesn't matter what your family looks like. It doesn't matter if it's a mom or a dad, or a mom and a mom, or a dad and a dad, or uncles, or an uncle and an auntie, or a grandma and a grandpa, or just a grandpa. Or if you even just make your own family. Family is what you believe. Family is what you want, not just what you're supposed to, just because, oh, it's your mom, or oh, it's your dad and you have to. No. This shows you that family is what you make of it. And I love that. And looking at all of these skin tones and all of these issues and all of these things that they face, and still despite everything that's happened, despite everything, we still go on. We are still here. And I love that about this imprint. And obviously there's going to be a part 2 because you can't just pack 20-ish years of books into one video. But when HeartDrum publishes more from, like, apparently we're getting more this summer, but whenever there's more published to like a certain year, obviously I'm going to make more videos. But this is just the biggest one. You know, you have Christine Day, Brian Young, Cynthia Smith, so many other people have contributed now to so many other little Indigenous kids' lives, and adults and teenagers, and it's so important. So I'm going to end here with the hope that you will check out these books, that you will pick them up, that you will read them to your children, read them to your nephews, read them to your nieces, read them to your grandma. You know, just experience it because it's important. So that is all for me. I hope that you're all doing well. It's getting sunny out, and even though it's not cold anymore, some people have really bad allergies, so I'm going to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Stay hydrated, okay? My head is like a solar panel when it's hot outside. It was 82 degrees. I got overheated. I had to stay inside. I was like a dead plant, you know? So make sure you're taking care of yourself in that way. Make sure you're drinking water. not like ice cold water, because I heard that can make it worse or something like that. Make sure that you are, staying cool. Make sure that you're eating enough. Because me personally, when I go out in the sun and then I haven't eaten enough, I've straight up fainted before. That's scary. Don't do that. We don't want to do that. Read Indigenous literature, not just during November, but all year around. And I hope that you will read some of these because of something that I said, or I don't know, something I scrawled on a Twitter post. And if you are authors and you're watching me, just know that I love what you are putting out, and I hope to read more Indigenous children's literature, middle grade literature, teen YA literature. I have plenty of adult right now, but I want to read a lot of literature in the next coming years, and forever how long I decide to be here. And yeah, that is it for me, and have an amazing day. Bye.